It appears that the Justice Department is attempting to protect Donald Trump from any violations of the emoluments clause in the US Constitution. This was something that was discovered by a law professor, and she wrote about it. Her name is Kathleen Clark. She is a law professor at Washington University, and she took a look at some of the filings done by the Department of Justice, and she found some pretty devastating moves. And again, this is all in an effort to protect Trump. So the foreign emoluments clause, just to give you some more details into that, was intended to curb presidents and other government officials from accepting gifts and benefits from foreign governments unless Congress consents. So this is a form of checks and balances. This is a way of ensuring that the president has not been corrupted by foreign interests. And based on the business dealings that Donald Trump is still involved in, it appears that the previous interpretation of the emoluments clause has been violated. Now, I say previous interpretation because now the DOJ is attempting to interpret it in a way that benefits Trump. So in a forthcoming article in the Indiana Law Journal, the Washington University law professor Kathleen Clark reveals Justice Department filings have recently changed tack. The new interpretation is contained in justice filings responding to recent lawsuits lodged by attorneys generals and members of Congress. So the filings by the department since June of 2017 reveal a new interpretation that, quote, would permit the president and all federal officials to accept unlimited amounts of money from foreign governments as long as the money comes through commercial transactions with an entity owned by the federal official. Donald Trump.
Big deal. Why are you so worked up, Anna?
But
it's all clean. It's all above water.
Deal.
All those words are such like legalistic words that it's like, yeah, as long as he's paid to his company,
this is no big deal.
I can't like.
It's amazing.
That's money laundering, I guess. Like. The original intent of the emoluments clause is to make it so that foreign governments can't bypass our legislative bodies in order to get a high-ranking official to go along with something because of essentially a bribe.
Yeah.
And they're saying like, and they're trying to make a defining line between a bribe where I put it in your pocket,
yes,
and then a thing where it's a government official.
No, it only counts as a bribe if it comes in a bag with a dollar sign. And it's handed to you, or by a guy with like a suitcase, handcuffed to his wrist. That accounts.
Yeah. So he never divested from all of his businesses. He didn't do anything. He claimed he was going to, have a blind trust and have his sons take care. Besides which, even if he left it all to his sons, he's still benefiting from it. It's his family, right? So basically the argument that we're hearing from the Justice Department is, look, as long as these foreign actors aren't giving Trump money in his campaign or funding him in any way, and they're just taking advantage of his businesses and he's profiting off of that business activity, then it should be okay. But no, that's not okay. That still creates a situation in which the president can be corrupted. So Kathleen Clark continues to say, for over 100 years, the Justice Department has strictly interpreted the Constitution's anti-corruption emoluments clause to prohibit federal officials from accepting anything of value from foreign governments absent congressional consent. So this is a really big deal when you take a good look at all the ways Donald Trump has benefited financially from, foreigners using his businesses, paying into his businesses. For instance, a 60-person Malaysian government delegation stayed at Trump International in the fall of 2017. At a time when the Justice Department was conducting a major corruption investigation of Malaysian officials, including the then Prime Minister, who had a White House meeting with Trump during their stay.
This is how Trump makes his money too. Like, Trump makes his money by raising the profile of his name, and his name is on those hotels. And that goes hand in hand if he can say, this is where foreign dignitaries stay when they come in town. That is a bribe to Donald Trump. That's been the formula since the very beginning.
It's become like an open joke, like this Malaysian case, and people may not have heard about it, but it was a huge deal. It's like a huge money laundering case involving like bajillions of dollars. The Malaysian Prime Minister.
But I like money laundering.
Yeah, exactly.
Money laundering
and like, as long as you stay at his hotel in Washington, like, I mean, it's happened with Saudi Arabia, the Bahraini stayed there. Like, whenever someone needs something from the US government these days, if you just stay at the Trump Hotel in Washington, D.C., it seems like a good way to get what you want. I mean, it's like so obvious and brazen that it's almost like just too breathtaking to. And
also, so this is not getting much play, right? No. But, and to be fair, it is a story. We had it prepared, we're not gonna get to it today, but William Barr testifying, right? Nonstop, nonstop coverage. I get it, cover it. Okay, there's nothing wrong with covering it, but they keep missing the financial stuff.
Which is right in front of you.
It's right in front of you.
That's what I don't understand about this sort of the Democratic choice to pursue the spy thing of Russia, like, you know, there's the Russia thing over like what's just right in front of you. Like it's right there. It's so obvious. Like that's like tying him to corruption and, you know, painting him as like a brazen plutocrat just strikes me as a much more easy case to make that people might buy.
Yeah, and not might buy. It just
happens to be true.
I mean, I think that it would have, look, I think if this was the focus, it would also potentially convince some of his own voters that he is corrupt and he's not looking out for their best interests.
It's an 80s framing for our 80s president to make it like us versus the Russians. But like that's it, you know, our 80s coke den president. Like that's what's so easy about it. But this is very simple and very straightforward. Yeah. And the very reason why they created the emoluments clause. Like it is exactly that.
They caught him staying at the Trump golf course in Scotland using public money on his own trip to pay his own hotel. Like it's breathtaking. Like if this was like, I mean, this is like, it's become like cliche to say it, but like if it happened under Obama, like we'd be hearing about this for months, you know?
Yeah, there would be investigation after investigation into this.
And I don't understand why the Democrats are like, they're almost like afraid to go after him on this.
I don't know. Maybe there are skeletons in their own closet. I have no idea.
That's the only explanation.
That's the whole point of divesting. Is like he can, if he divests from those hotels, even in the meantime, then you can make it so that the people who work there still get paid, like the waitstaff still gets paid extra, but you don't have that extra taint of Donald Trump.
On the go? Don't worry, we got you covered. You can still listen to TYT at our new podcast network. Find us on Apple Podcasts, the Google Play Store, or at tyt.com/podcast.